We're really confused.
We woke up this morning, it's 8:10 and it's really dark.
It's pitch black.
Well, our phone says it's 8:10, so we're not sure whether
We think the clocks go back this weekend, but we don't know
That's in the
A, if
UK.
they've gone back, we've lost track, or B, if it's...
it might not be applicable here.
So Stu's just... we're putting the radio on to see if we can find out the proper time.
There's never been a HR solution like this.
Welcome to GetawayGeese. We are Stu and Jane, and with Harry, our Ford Custom Autocamper, we share our adventures. So join us in this, our rough guide series to campervanning in Ireland. So we're having a problem with items, sort of flannels, towels, drying slowly in the van, and when they dry slowly, they stink.
Old sterilising unit out.
And Stu has just washed his face and wiped his hair and then said this stinks, so I just told him that's how he's going to go around smelling for the rest of the day.
I washed my hair this morning.
Washed his hair in the smelly
I've got
towel.
to wash my hair, I said.
Yeah, but you've already washed it in the smelly
this is
flannel.
it.
This is the clean flannel.
Oh, that's better. It smells nice.
He just... could you smell it as you were wiping it, but you carried on? So there's our expensive wash pan. It costs more than our cooking utensils.
So a sterilising unit.
Yeah. Just going to boil it up and hopefully the smell will dissipate. It's not a horrible smell, it's just musty. And also we can't recharge our Karcher, so we're wiping
Everything down.
yeah, which is more moisture in the blooming van.
Jane misses the Karcher.
I do.
Which is fine. I get it because it takes moisture out of the air, but it's a 1,000 watt device. The power out's only 300 watts, but you can get an adapter for hopefully the van, which I've ordered, which means we can charge it on the go. Sterilising.
Why is it we can never take a video without a bloody cupboard open?
It's like a magnet.
You won't be putting that up.
Veggie black pudding.
What do you call it, veggie black? I think it's just veggie pudding. So we're a bit of a sucker for a bacon butty, especially stew. So
On a Saturday, yeah.
on a Saturday,
And it's Saturday.
and it's Saturday, and we decided to replace it with.
Clonakilty veggie pudding.
You keep saying it, as you know from the previous video. Stew's on commission, and that's our breakfast.
Yes, that's the Clonakilty veggie pudding. You might send me a batch over.
A free batch. Yeah, I take that. No, but honestly, do try it. It's lovely. Today we are.
Today
Okay,
we're going
you're not
to.
going to put your singing on.
Okay.
Welcome back to the channel. Now, after our early morning madness, the sun has come out, so we need to make the most of it. Please consider supporting our channel and help it grow by liking and subscribing, as it's free and it really helps. Now, despite the high winds, we have decided we're going to go for that walk over Dunmore Head in the hope that we can get a good view of the Blasket Islands to help put the location into context before we visit the centre later on.
So we've just left our park up last night, which was
Great parker.
was a great park up again.
Hate to keep saying it.
We moved there because it was really windy. We've actually come back to the place we were yesterday, overlooking that cliff beach at I can't even pronounce it. Kumanoli, I think it is, but it's right on the point of Slee. And we've come back there this morning. It's a lot calmer this morning, but yesterday was really, really windy. And although I think we'd have been all right here, I just don't think we'd have slept as well.
No.
And as it happened, that beach was really good, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was nice.
It was a real golden sand.
Yeah.
The only problem with the park up, it was on a bit of a slope. It doesn't bother us. Harry and the fridge is all okay with it. So you'll either have to have some good chocks on it, or accept the slope, to be honest.
Could have a chuck if you want.
Back today to Slee Head because we want to go up the headland. As long as the weather doesn't close in.
Yeah, it's too much.
And then there's a couple of things we're going to go to the Blaskett Museum.
Blasket.
I keep calling it the Basket.
You keep saying basket, and when he said we're going to a basket museum, I'm like, I really don't think I want to go now.
She wasn't interested for some reason.
Yeah. I'm not really that interested in baskets, but thanks for the thought. To be honest, you could just sit here watching these waves.
These waves
they're just
brilliant, aren't they?
magical, aren't they? Yeah.
Cool.
But unfortunately, I can't. He's going to make me get out and walk in the cold.
Let's go. Come on.
We had a curry last night.
Oh yeah.
We've got to say about the curry. Uncle
It was Friday
Ben's.
night. It was curry night.
Well, we're coming up November, and we probably had the heater on 5 times.
Yeah.
But yesterday was just a day when you just can't get warm, and so we did a curry, and she put extra chilli in, so that really warmed me up to the bottom of
I don't
my
mind
feet.
it. Jane will take a bit of it, but it was all right. It was right on the edge for Jane, but it was.
It was nice.
It was just as if I went to a restaurant.
He was sat there saying, "Oh, I could have paid for this in a restaurant." He was, and it was true. It was good. And I'm trying to delay the walk up that hill as much as possible. A small donation is asked for, and I'm afraid there's no dogs allowed on this walk. But what we will see is the location where a Star Wars film scene was shot.
We're going up there.
Now, it's not a particularly long walk, but it's pretty steep to the top. But as always, that's where you get the best views. And if anything, the wind is blowing even harder off the Atlantic. Now, as you can see, this climb definitely gets the heart pumping, but it's completely worth it. And there is the Blasket Island.
Wow, that was a walk.
That was a walk.
I don't think I've ever been on a cliff walk that's with such strong gust winds. There's one point where you have to get over a wall, and it literally blew me over going back because I couldn't get over.
Yeah. It's literally, it's just, I've never been in wind where I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Even though I had a protection across my mouth, it just literally took your breath away.
Yeah.
It wasn't cold wind, it was...
Fortunately, the wind's always blowing inland, so you're always generally safe, because if it was going the other way, you definitely wouldn't go up there. So that's the most westerly point over before the islands there, and they've filmed part of The Last Jedi up there as well. So there's scenes from The Last Jedi and Ryan's Door. So there's obviously lots of film locations used Ireland, understandably, to be honest.
Yeah, so dramatic. And this, we think, is the location of where the scene from Return of the Jedi with the sea cows in it was shot.
Fortunately, we got to the top, and there was I don't know why it's there, but there's a concrete structure. Maybe it's just for protection if you're walking that, but it's got windows in, so it was a lookout by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Just as we got there, the weather closed in, and we started to get horizontal rain. So we just timing's everything. We just timed that right and missed probably a 10-minute squall. We wondered what this was. I presume it's a shelter. Got a bit of a fireplace there, but. Like I said, the weather changes every 30 minutes here, and the wind's just got up, and there's almost a vertical rain clouds coming this way. But,
Do that again!
But as you can say, the patio windows, I need to shut the window. But I reckon in 5-10 minutes we'll be good to go down, I think.
And it's time for us to head back to Harry in the car park. Stu seems to think he could possibly fly in this wind, and I actually think he might be right. And then we walked past a bloke who was parked next to us, and he was he had a shirt on, young lad. So.
Well, most people have a shirt on.
With no coat.
Oh, right, okay.
Not with no coat, they don't. Everyone else rugged up, and then there's this young lad who's obviously hired a car and travelling around Ireland, and he just walked past with his shirt on. You're like, God, such a wimp. So we're going to Blaskett Museum now to learn about baskets. I'm joking. Oh. Humour, Stuart.
Lost on me.
And we spot a photo opportunity just up the road to Duncan Pier. and this coffee van looks like it's doing a really good trade today. That guy at the van is the guy that's walking Doing Island in a shirt. In season you can get really good boat trips from the pier, but unfortunately it's all shut up today. And that's one way to stop them blowing away. Gosh, the mountains over there are beautiful. The approach to the pier is a little unique and well photographed. And believe it or not, there's pictures on the internet of people getting stuck having driven down here. Stu's gone ahead of me. Wow, this is quite some wind. Just trying to make sure this isn't slippy. It's the last thing I need. Definitely don't recommend walking on the green stuff, very slippy. Thomas Keane drowned in 1976, having set out fishing in the waters off the island. Thomas's daughter in 2006 launched a commissioned replica of his fishing boat called a curragh to be kept at the pier in memory. Just wow. As you can see, we've been blessed with a fantastic day today, despite the wind. As we said, it's a popular photography spot and he looks in a precarious place. And we're off, and we decide that we've earned a quick lunchtime drink. The bar has a group of young lads on a stag day, and it's great to see them having a laugh, with Hawaiian shirts being the theme.
So we've just come up and down this coastway for the last 24 hours, really going backwards and forwards to various things. It's amazing how much there is in just a mile down the road.
Oh God, it's
There's
incredible.
nothing.
Yeah,
There's always something to go and see and do. So.
We finally pull into the Blaskett Centre, but we're not 100% sure at this stage of what we're going to actually see. As we approach the building, it soon becomes apparent that this is no ordinary centre from the architecture on the outside. There's also an outside viewing platform and sculptures that we didn't get to see, unfortunately, due to the weather closing in. Now, the admission price, as always, that we found throughout our trip is unbelievably only €5 for an adult. And we feel this is something really that England could take note of, because we've been to heritage sites which are 4 times the price of that. And as we enter the reception, we're immediately faced with this impressive colourful artwork. And by the way, there is a cafe by reception should you need any refreshments. We're first guided to a media room, passing this mosaic. It's depicting the island and the surrounding seas. The fascinating overview of life on Blaskett is then shown to visitors, giving excellent context to what we were about to see. This centre saw a huge investment of £2.9 million to rebuild it, and it was opened in 2022, replacing the original 1993 installation. The modern designed architecture of this facility is really clever, and it draws you into various rooms and views out onto the landscape. And what makes this place even more special is that it's set with the backdrop of the Blasket Islands themselves. The long central walkway draws your eye to the end, and as you walk towards it you see narrow-coloured glass windows showing snapshots of the islanders' life. The corridor is also framed with large images of the characters on the island, and it tells their story. And this is what makes this island so special, because visiting scholars encourage the islanders to document their life experiences, and the outcome was an impressive legacy of Irish literature. Peg Sayers is probably one of the better known inhabitants. She wasn't born on the island, but she moved there when she was 19 when she married one of the fishermen, and many books have been written about her and others, and in fact she has written her own autobiography. And the centre also has various rooms off the main walkway, where you can discover artefacts from the families that lived there. But again, you're not overloaded with items. It's just enough to tell their powerful cultural story. Life for them revolved around the sea and what the land could sustain. And it was in fact a tough, hard way of living. This audio room captures and preserves the Irish language that was used by the islanders, and is as equally as important as any physical object or artefact. The end of the walkway draws you to the view beyond and the subject of the Blaskett Centre. The population is captured on this board, and it's interesting, but it's also quite sad to see the decline of the island's population. Unfortunately, the families gradually dwindled over the years, as life was harsh, with the last family leaving in 1954. We make our way slowly back to the corridor, where we ensure we see all the exhibits. And this is a great example of a country that is proud of its heritage and captures the unique community culture and a way of life that once existed on the island. And we really can't say how impressive and interesting this centre is, and we really recommend you go and visit if you're in that area. And we think it's one, actually if not the best, cultural centres that we've ever been to. Well, we need to find a park up for the night, and as we return to Harry, we see that a fellow Ford Custom has parked right next to us. And as we drive back, we capture what we think was the schoolhouse on the film Ryan's Daughter in the distance. We've targeted a couple of park-ups and we set off to see what they're like. The first view didn't work out for various reasons. Someone's going to be missing them. But we eventually find this remote car park, which is just perfect for our night. Well, we're going to leave it here for this episode of what's been a really great day of seascapes and Irish culture. Just perfect. And as usual, Ireland just keeps on giving. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then help us grow the channel by subscribing, liking and commenting. And we'll hopefully see you in the next episode of Our Travels in Harry.